always exciting when a game comes along that thinks outside the box, challenging normal gaming conventions and ideas to hopefully create something truly unique. Or it may miss the mark completely. Shim aims to achieve the former by delivering a unique spin on a puzzler with a sentimental narrative. What's it like? Let's avoid the light, keep up with the bicycles, and jump to it as we shed some light on Shim for Nintendo Switch. Before we begin, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way to bring What's It Like out of the shadows, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. Shim is a unique puzzler that follows a shim, which is a Dutch word for shadow, as it accompanies its human through various stages of life, from the wonders of childhood to going to school, heartbreak, and moving on. And it manages to tell this beautiful story in the beginning despite using no words, and it's somewhat akin to the opening of Disney Pixar's Up, investing you emotionally by allowing you to perceive what's going on firsthand rather than being told. The entire narrative works this way and starts off by allowing the player to explore and learn the mechanics of the game without too much pressure to achieve any objectives. And after the emotional introduction, you are separated from your human, and so begins the main story of Shim. You are a lost shadow, searching to reconnect with your human. Shim's gameplay consists of you jumping from shadow to shadow, chasing after your human to be reunited. If you are caught out in the light, you need to restart. The levels are nice and bite-sized and allow you to play in short bursts, although the nature of the game makes it very hard to put down. You can interact with some objects like signs and traffic lights, many of which will become core interactions to complete the level you're on. And you can even have full control over animals. You can rotate the camera to reveal more of your path, and sometimes that path won't be obvious, meaning there is some trial and error involved. You can briefly hit a light area and do a second, smaller jump should you need to, and you will use this tactic many times during your adventure. If you fail, you're usually knocked back 10 to 15 seconds or so, meaning failing isn't very frustrating and it keeps the momentum of the game moving forward. The art style of the game is simply gorgeous, offering a minimalistic yet detailed view of the world of Shim. Levels are varied and unique, and it's interesting to watch the world go by. It expertly uses its limited colour palette to convey sentiments of melancholy, and while the world around you is populated with pedestrians, vehicles and animals, it somehow manages to make you feel alone. This manipulation of your emotions further drives you as a player to move forward in Shim, and left me wanting to reunite with my human, making the game almost impossible to put down. Further to the art style tapping into your emotions, the soundtrack further bolsters these feelings with an almost cozy vibe. The game is well polished, and during my playthrough I only experienced one single bug that forced me to restart a level. Aside from that, the game ran at a silky smooth frame rate and the controls feel just right. I never felt cheated when I failed a jump, although the game certainly challenged me at times to think outside the box. The game may only take a handful of hours to complete, but there are hidden objects to discover, which pads out that time for completionists. At just under $38 Australian, the price point may be off-putting to some gamers, but those who do invest will find themselves immersed in an experience similar to a game like The Cub. For my vision impaired shadows, there are no accessibility options, so to speak, but it's worth mentioning that you can manually change the palette of each level, adjusting the contrast of colours, which may make Shim easier to navigate. It's also worth noting that your Shim will be the same colour as the shadows, and is only discernible by two small eyes, which may be hard for some vision impaired people to track. While there is a built-in zoom feature on the Nintendo Switch, as always, I recommend further research to find out if Shim is for you. Shim is a very unique puzzler that ticks all the right boxes. It's a sentimental adventure that uses a minimalistic art style to emotionally pluck at your heartstrings to keep motivating the player to move forward. It's challenging, fun, and unique as you explore a busy world that somehow still makes you feel so alone. While it may be a shorter adventure than some expected, it will certainly stay with you long after the sun sets. Shim is a wonderful game, and I can't wait to see what's next from developer Ewood van de Wolf. So, what's it like? Shim is like, you know what? I guess I've never played anything quite like this. It's a very unique experience. I award it an 80 out of 100. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by Pirate PR, but this does not influence my score. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.